How's your Saturdays going? I had to work earlier, so I'm trying to recover, but I had a good night's sleep, so that was good. Hello. I'm gonna mess my phone up if I do that, so but hello everybody. This is not the serious conversation. Um, Heaven gave me a break on that one because it was turned out to be rougher than I thought it was gonna be. But I did want to go back and still address um, about the technique of manifesting. And I don't know if you guys are like me. Unless I know how something works, I can't adopt it as my philosophy in life. And so I just kind of wanted to address, just give you a little bit more insight on how the technique that I spoke about earlier or a few days ago actually works. Um, when I assign like when I talked about doing something in repetition, something that you do every day. So if you like brush your teeth for 2 minutes a day, every time, and you assign brushing your teeth to something that you want to do. Let's say it's I want to wait extra $5 a day, whatever the case is. Every time you brush your teeth, you will make it will be imprinted in the brain, and the brain will associate a $5 a day with brushing your teeth. So every time you brush your teeth, the brain has already programmed that until you reassign it by doing something else for 2 minutes a day. I mean, by doing or assigning something else to brushing your teeth other than the $5. So just after you start earning $5 a day automatically, then you say, well, I want to do $10 a day, and then after you earn that, you can reprogram the brain with 2 minutes of doing that at actual action. Mine's was like when I said I was like cleaning. So a lot of the cleaning assignments require a lot of sleeping. And so I could get into a zone and just get into my head and just put my music on and just take care of a project. And so it may take 30 minutes to sweep an area, but that's 30 minutes of energy that was invested into actually not just cleaning the area, but also whatever I assigned to it. And it doesn't matter how long or how many times, it could be a month difference. For instance, the last time you did a 30-minute sweeping project, and then it's still, the brain is still going to associate that movement. When you do it for 2 minutes or more, it's going to trigger the brain to say, oh, okay, this is what it's supposed to be because you've already reprogrammed it. So that's why I said you can put it on autopilot. So like brushing your teeth, if you do it every day, you know, then it's something that you don't have to think about all the time. It's like, oh, every time I brush my teeth, this is what it's going to do. I mean, people don't sweep every day, but because it was part of my job, that's what I use for that. So that's just how that works. Many of you probably weren't here at the beginning of the Bella Project. I just kind of want to go into detail how it actually came about. The Bella Project came about because my life was destroyed by my gang stalkers, and I just didn't know how I was going to come back from it. I had already seen that nothing I was doing normally to manifest was working. So I'm like, how the fuck am I going to do this? I don't understand it. Just collaborating with having pretty much cussing them out, for being a part of this or allowing this shit to happen to me. Just like, motherfuckers. So, I was like, my life is pretty much destroyed. I've lost my family, I lost my children and everything that I loved. Um, I couldn't understand it. It just baffled me. And they would tell because I was on drugs or something, and my mom was an alcoholic. Nothing, absolutely nothing they did, how they behaved, was anywhere near what I did for my mom. And a few of my children were old enough to witness it. So I'm like, how are you validating this in your mind? I just couldn't do it. I couldn't understand it. But pretty much everything was completely destroyed. My reputation, my actual finances, everything that I built, for 47 years. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't do all this hard work for 47 years and keep a good reputation and live a good quality life to come to this point to have it completely destroyed. And look, I'm fucking tired. All that manifesting I've been doing all these years, I expected that, this next half, I wouldn't have to work so hard because everything has been pretty much ingrained. It should just come like this, and that. And now y'all making me do this shit all over? Oh man, I was just done with it. Totally done with it. My faith, my relationship with God, it was really what. Not only that, my relationship with Him, and not only just my faith, but His presence and showing that He was there. He was there, and He was definitely an intricate part of my training. And if it hadn't been for that, if I didn't see evidence, physical evidence, materializing in my life, as bad as it already was, because I'm homeless at this time, I would not have been able to make it through. There's some other aspects that I haven't been given permission to talk about that are more from the human standpoint, Big Brother and universe, that also played a part. One thing I did do, I made all of them get on the same fucking page. I'm like, look, you niggas gonna be helping me build this life back up. Y'all all need to get together and we all need to have an understanding as far as what we want from Bella. Not any other things that can be manipulated through, black magic or voodoo or energy, whatever they was doing. I don't give a fuck what they're doing. You work for me. And if you work for me, you need to all be on the same page. And that was when things changed. It changed a lot. It was this need or this feeling that I should, hey, if I'm going to do this, you're already publicly destroyed, so why don't you publicly rebuild yourself if you're going to do it? And let other people see that if you're going to go from that, I was down in the gutter, and I wasn't like a person who had a life of being in the gutter. My life went from suburb to the street overnight. Exactly that. I had no street smarts. I definitely didn't have no clue about how to be homeless. But if I was going to do it, I was going to take this show on the road, basically, And as I was talking about in target dating, teach them how to really build a bitch. To build a bitch, you got to have her be at least a willing participant in this whole project. It's so much harder if you're going to do this and you have to do all this manipulation through Facebook and song titles and YouTube programs and religious programs and motivational programs and tarot reading programs. Get her involved willingly, not no underhanded little hidden camera bullshit or phone hacking bullshit. Not that. Anyway, I'm not that far. I was homeless December. Mm-hmm. I'm not that far from it. Not at all. So I've been posting since maybe October, when they restarted their new cycle of gang stalking. It starts every fall, just so you know. September is hunting season. One day I'll explain all that. It's a negative thought that I don't want to have to occupy my brain right now. I want to stay on the positive because the positive has been working for me, so I stay that way. And when it becomes necessary, to make sure that, I mean, I have tons of postings on Facebook from 2020, I think, on Bella Fowler page. You can go back and look at the postings. You can go back and look at um, some of the videos that I did, and pretty much see a transition that I'm going through. But because I was not real confident, I just want to put it real, and this is something new to heaven too, because I've never admitted this out loud and said it publicly. I really wasn't confident that this would work, because again, when I was living my life and everything was going well, and when I touched, it appeared. Um, and then when it wasn't, I didn't know. I mean, I'm totally lost. I mean, to the point that I even questioned God, because a lot of it was fueled by what I knew spiritually, and how it is really basically the reap what you sow law. I mean, that law, you follow that law, it pretty much defines who you're going to be. If you really believe in that, I mean, I think everybody should believe in that, because their lives can sit back and say, hey, I'm actually benefiting or reaping what I sow because I sow good seeds. I did good things. And then if you know you did some bad things, when you start having bad things happen to you, I don't care if it's 5, 6, 7 years later, you know it's because you're paying for what you didn't do right the last time. And I've had to, I had to suck up some bad shit, before. I'm like, damn, I got that. That's why that's happening, because you know what? I didn't do that right, or I should have did that, or I fucked up there, or I didn't make amends, to that person, because a lot of times you can diminish the impact of your reaping what you sow, or your karma coming back to you if it's bad karma, because you don't want to diminish if it's good karma, by making an atonement for it, ending it. So the energetic impact when it comes back to you is not as hard, because that person is not who you've harmed, is not keeping it alive and keeping it strong enough. So then it just becomes, you're just gonna have to pay your dues. So then when I realized that, when I was paying attention to that, I just before I did something that I knew was not quite right, I would envision all the repercussions for me doing it. And if I felt I was willing to deal with the repercussions by still doing it, I do it. And then when it came back, oh, I knew it was coming. It's like, okay, well, here it comes. Boom. Just brace yourself. That's what like owning your shit is really all about. And then you see so many people who do such horrible things to people. And then when they start to get their karma, they want to get mad at everybody under the fucking sun. And despite whatever, I don't know all the things that were said about me, but I know there was some horrendous shit said. I'm just like, how did I get away with all that shit? I mean, just like crazy shit. Who would allow a person to get away with all that? Anyway, I don't even know where I was going with that one. Totally forgot where I was going. But either way, knowing I would pay attention to, that whole energetic flow coming back. Being raised by a narcissist, you have to behave. Now, doesn't mean that you become narcissist, but you have to behave in narcissistic ways in order to survive that shit. And then energetically, you end up drawing narcissists to you. sometimes. Um, and so you have to learn how to deal with it. Everyone that used to come to me, you're like, look, I am a narcissist's worst fucking nightmare. I know how to play your game too well. I was raised by one that could slay all of you, because y'all today, y'all can't keep a secret, or y'all can't hold your mask on for less than 21 days. Shoot, my dad could do that for years on end and just full of motherfucker all day long. He probably still wearing some mask now. You know? I mean, just, he was smooth cool with it. He was surefire with it. So you end up having to make sure that you're not um, behaving just by habit, because that was your survival, just in your everyday life, but towards people who aren't narcissists. So, I would always analyze myself. And anytime anything I did wrong or something wrong happened, and if I know I had to own it, I want to own what I did. And trust me, a lot of times I'm going to ensue a lot more punishment towards myself, because I don't want to do this shit again. I don't want it. I don't want to come back again to this. And so give me whatever you got. You beat me, jump me, put me on punishment, put me in timeout, do whatever you got to do. So that I fully pay for this, because I want no remnants of this after I come up out of it. And I don't ever expect anything in return. Only time I expect something in return is when I know I'm going through a trial that is not warranted. So I know this is a teaching lesson, and then I'll just ask God, well, what badge of honor am I going to have at the end of this? And I'll run through the fire bravely. And I knew every time that my life was the kind of life that would experience things in order to help others go through the same type of experiences better. Because there's nothing I've gone through that I've not had to use to help somebody else, i.e. what I'm doing right now. So when it came down to me being all the energetic and demonic and blockage that I was experiencing, when the beginning of all this, I couldn't understand it. All I kept asking, I have emails, I have text messages, I have all kinds of letters to my family begging, please tell me. Just tell me, what did I do that is warranting this type of treatment? Privately email me, do whatever. I didn't get not one letter, not one email, not one text message, not one phone call explaining any of it. Nobody explained anything to me until this day. No one has explained anything that explains their behaviors towards me. So I'm thinking, I'm like, God, please. I feel like there's nothing I could have done. Whose child did I get? Who did I torture? Because I would have had to been something so cruel that would have energetically been equivalent to what I was experiencing. This was just extreme. And for it to just come down all at once, and then while you down, there was still more coming. It was like, no, we got to keep you down. Well, I found out later. After going through it, I didn't know this, but near the end of it, when I finally stopped being hard-headed and listened to God and accepted that, yeah, okay, there's some other out-worldly shit going on here. That it was something I had to accept. That really the secret behind all of it is that if your frequency is low enough, then they can come in, because you're not allowing them in spiritually by giving them permission to invade your body or in your workspace or anything else. So if you're not living a life and that gives permission and entertaining or inviting the demons to come into your life, one of the other ways that they can impact your life is to, when you have such a low frequency that is near theirs, then they can exist in your world and wreak havoc. And once they get in, they're kicking and they're beating and stomping you to make sure that you don't get above that extra frequency that they won't be allowed in, because they can't sustain themselves in your life. my life, no matter what was going on, I always was positive, and I've always kept high frequency. I mean, even if I'm sad, I'm still not as sad. That would have given them invitation. So, what actually the first blow was a heartbreak. I fell in love with one of the um, target people that was sent to kill me. I didn't know all that at the time. I know later, but at the time, he was supposed to come in and love bomb me, just as I spoke about the one in Target dating. He was one of those too. But this was the first one that came in. And when that happened, it was just a shock because it was like it went from love bomb to boom, boom. Like it just went bad. So that's where the depression, my frequency lowered enough for them to come into my experience. And then from that point on, it was no letter for 2 years. I'm telling you, no letter. They did everything. And then my ex-husband, who was instrumental in all of this, coming to have all this happen, was puppet mastering everything. When I was going through it, I had to understand what was the intention behind it, and it was clear. He wanted me to suffer because I wouldn't come back to him. But that's a narcissistic, they feel that you're property and that there's no way. And then, of course, all the scheming and exploiting and making money on the black market and with the cameras, the hidden cameras and stuff, and trying to get people to fuck you so they can get videos of it and sell it on the market. And I mean, all of that shit. So, it was fucking with the money. Of course, all this is going on until later. I was like, what the fuck? Whew. Obviously, I didn't know anybody, even half my family. But with my ex-husband playing with, conflict spells and community conflict and family conflict and no love spells and stuff like that, that would explain why, my children and everyone else in the family was all like, and they all, and I used to always say, you're not talking like my family. You're not saying the things that that normal people would say in response to something either I did or someone else did or just have a normal conversation. It was just so weird, and one of the main things that throughout this, they have blamed so many different people other than themselves, and so it is the behavior. I mean, from the very beginning, I knew it was that little nigga, and I still say it's him, and I don't blame anyone but him. Mainly because it didn't all start until after him, till I left him. Well, he kicked me out, and then I wouldn't come back, so then now I left him. So that's how that went. But the lie that he told and saying that I left to go be with another man. He didn't tell nobody he kicked me out. He didn't tell anybody that he hit me. He just said she left to go be with another man. He said that in front of me to my father. And that was when my heart and everything in my soul went cold. I don't know you. I have no feelings for you. And all the other times I left before, I didn't feel this peace and joy that came over me when I was left that time. I mean, I was in dire straits then. I wasn't homeless, but I was in dire straits then. And I told a business partner, I said, if I ever go back, will you kidnap me? Lock me up until I come back to my senses. Even then, I had said those words. I knew there was something that was overtaking me that Marvin made me stay as long as I did. My children, they're starting to come, getting clear of it. Because in order for that shit to work, you got to be in the energy. You got to be in the vicinity. Unless you're some real magical person, and you can be over in Africa or Indonesia or Dominican Republic and be doing that shit. But these are all new users here in America. So, you got to be within close proximity and on a continual basis. So to keep compliance with whatever the spell is. And they kept a close eye on me through the hidden cameras. So I had a smile on my face. Oh, Lord, she's smiling. Boom. Send somebody in there to take that smile away. Do something. He's manifesting. Oh, shoot. If anybody knew how good I was at manifesting, that nigga, he would have known more than anybody because he watched everything I did. Of course, I mean, he was my husband. I sat there and talked with him. He knows. And he knows probably all the times he was wishing and throwing evil eye shit on me. And he's right there near me. And that shit still came to me. So, of course, this man will be the one to do it. No one else would have known or cared enough to do that shit. So now, understanding, basically the whole point of me telling the story was how low my frequency got and how during the process, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I had done to cause this level of distress, of repercussion, of anything, all this bad shit that was happening. I didn't know. And nothing. I mean, even God wasn't even telling me. God, this motherfucker. He won't even tell me. I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. So, it is so important to make sure your mental health is very well. And we have moods and we have feelings. And you have a state of being, a state of mind. State of mind determines how you're going to deal with your moods. Moods is something you get into and they're fleeting. They go away. It's just a mood, just a moment. But a state of mind, a state of being is something that defines who you are and how you show up in the world and how you handle any issue. And it can determine how you bounce back and how long it's going to take for you to bounce back. The one thing you don't want to happen is for you to be in a mood so long enough that it actually becomes your state. Because that can happen too. And trust me, my understanding and being able to receive divine information about my situation probably took longer because I was in a real fucked up mood that probably ended up becoming my state. Even though there was a lot of things they were trying to get me to be like the people in the streets and, you know, the thieving and just the griminess of the whole experience. I was still me. I was still me. I didn't have as much love in my heart. I didn't know these people and didn't really want to know them to get to love them anyway. And love is a major part of manifesting too. And I had nothing to love. Everything that I loved or thought I loved had betrayed me, had backstabbed me, had drugged me. I mean, what was done to me was not like, oh, you know, I just told a little lie. No. What was done would be like doing to like a racist. You know, you just want to attack, you know, just like finally we got a racist and we're going to drag him and we're going to just pay him back for everything he's done to us wrong. I mean, a menace, like what you would do to a menace to society, somebody who just went out and raped and killed a bunch of children. I was accused of molesting children too. Oh, Lord. I think I was accused of murder too. Somebody died. I don't know. Or they tried to set me up for somebody's murder. And I couldn't even pay any back for stealing shit from me, but I had set up and murdered somebody. And the reason I do know this is true, just to tell you one of the stories that one. So where I was down the street was Circle K, where we would all go get something to drink, and we hung out at a park. So the group of people that I hung with, you know, just make sure you be safe. I guess the leader of the group. We had for some reason we had to leave the park, and then when we came back, I see him over there, and I asked him, so what's up? You know, what was that all about and everything? He was like, oh, I don't know. I go, the detective had pulled me over and or pulled me aside, and he showed me a picture of somebody who robbed Circle K last week. And he said, Bella, he asked me, did I know who this was? And, I couldn't do anything, but, it looked just like you. I mean, she looks really so. And this person supposedly have brought Circle K with a gun, with glasses on, and just looking like me, okay? Right. Okay. And so, and you gonna tell the detective that it was me. I mean, I'm just seeing this plot happen, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, whatever, Fernando. Please. Like, why y'all be trying to get me to steal from people who stole from me to pay them back? I won't do it. But yet I'm gonna go down to the Circle K. I got a gun that I don't ever have. And I'm just gonna go in there because I always go in there. They're gonna recognize me. It's like, what the fuck? Like, you guys are just losing it. I mean, this shit got to make sense somewhere if y'all gonna make this shit up. I think y'all living in your movie land, illusionary world for too long, because it's nothing you're saying is actually adding up. Or like crimes I would have committed against somebody in Texas. Yet my motherfucking ass here, and there's all kind of camera on my ass. The point that I'm sitting right here. I mean, it's just make it make sense. Really, make it make sense. Y'all want to do this shit? Make it make sense. But I guess they feel that because they do all that with the I know you hear those trucks with all those loud noises and things like that, with those real extra large engine sounds. Well, there's that's where the infrasound comes in. There's frequencies in there that is sending out frequencies. They could blow somebody's kidney up, standing on the corner, and you would know it was because of the truck that just passed. Person ended up dead. That's how sound frequency can work. They have that going around to make sure that whatever spell has been cast for the plot that's going on that season is being, that everybody in all the homeless people are behaving as they should. And then hopefully, the ones they're sending to the charges is going to blow their brain up and make them go psychotic. And trust me, I've heard they are all trying to figure out why this shit ain't never work on me. Why my brain didn't blow up. Why did not actually go schizophrenic like they tried to say that I was. So the Bella Project came from all of the destruction, and that I didn't trust that heaven would actually show up for me, because if heaven was actually really real, how the fuck did they let this happen? Because I didn't do anything warranting this level of karma. Nothing. I am reaping something that I didn't do. And if y'all letting this happen, what was that feeling I used to get? Who was I talking to? I questioned everything. So it was either going to prove you can't actually collaborate with heaven, and they are actually working in your life, or was this going to prove that was a bunch of bullshit? I was a bunch of bullshit. Stop wasting your time doing that shit. We ain't up here. Ain't nobody up here. You do it your damn self. And if it works out for you, good for you. Good for you. You're one of those master ones. But other than that, no. So I think current events have and will have and give more evidence, because I think heaven's about to show out on some people. And I know my daddy, my Abba, is about to come down here and whip some ass. He had me send a message to that ex. You mine. All mine. Nobody else touching you but me. You gonna get it, because I told you not to touch my daughter. Told you not to. He told me one time, when I had every other week it was a new hitman. I mean, I was doing construction on one project, and I was sitting outside, and they were taking the satellite off of the this really big old satellite. I could tell that man was trying to figure out a way to drop that satellite on my head. I mean, I knew it. And then later that night, I've had dinner with him. I knew he was gonna be. I knew he was my assassin at the time, and I had dinner with him. He left. He said, "Oh, I'll be right back." He never came back. He was gone. That confirmed it. What I thought. And then there was like one guy at the park, and some mafia-looking character. You know, I mean, he had on linen pants and nice linen shirt, and just looking all suave, nice shoes on and stuff. I didn't see what kind of car he came out of, but just how he was looking, it didn't look like a man that would go to a park at that time and be dressed like that. So he was standing by like an oak tree, a real big tree, and just leaning there, and then he's doing this in his hand, and one of them caught the sun and had a reflection. It was gold bullets, as if to give me a threat. Settle down, bitch. Settle down, because these might be in you. So I walked right up to him, and I got right up in his face. I said, "Hello, my name is Beth. I thought you should meet the person you're about to kill, and maybe you should get to know a little bit about me. But first, my daddy gave me a message to tell you." He said, "That's my baby. She's my favorite. Come by her, you will be blessed. You do good by her, you will be immensely blessed. You do wrong by her, well, and walk up." He sat down on the grass in his nice linen pants. About 10 minutes later, he got up and walked away. And came back. That's the shit I had to deal with. But the important part of all of that is just the same. Don't let your frequencies get low enough. My experience can happen to anybody. And the more that the veil has thinned, in 2020 it started thinning, because it's preparing us to enter into a paradise. You can't just walk into a paradise. You got to ascend to a paradise. You have to prepare the body as heaven perfects you, perfects your DNA. You have to become a willing, say, "Hey, yeah, I want to be a part of that." And when you want to be a part of that, they're going to rid your life of all things that are not healthy for your frequency, for your elevation, for your growth. And it's going to reveal when you become awakened. You wake up. You'll see things that it's kind of hard to see. And mostly in the people that you love. There's a scripture in the Bible that says, "Bad association spoils useful habits." That scripture became so relevant in my time being gangsta. Because like I was telling you about how I didn't do anything that warranted that type of heavy karma. What I did do, and I wish I could know, because you gotta own some part of this shit. How you were a participant, because I couldn't fucking figure out how I was a participant in this, but now I do. And I was around people who had bad karma, and I was reaping a lot of theirs because I was tolerating the company of them. So you can literally not have anything to reap back. And that the people you're around are diminishing your good. And they're actually getting blessed by your energy. But there still is an exchange. In order to take, you got to replenish. And they replenish me with theirs. And so a lot of it was the reason I was receiving it was because I was tolerant. I wasn't judging, you know, and I'm still not a judger. But I will say this: even a lot of the people that may, in their mind and their heart, they feel, I mean, they good intentions, but there's still some sketchiness about them, or who they allow hang around them. I'm like, dude, no, mm-mm, no, 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 no. What I had gone through, no, I'm not gonna do it. There's just no way, because I don't know. Your demons might start talking to your friends' demons. They get together, and then I get fucked up. No, 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 no. I've paid for 100 or so different type of people's karmas. I took everybody's karma on myself. I'm strong enough. Yes, I am, but I'm not with it because you know this happened in my life. I want to have fun. I want to have fun. I'm not ashamed to show my mistakes and my flaws where I fell short. Because that's what the fuck is it all about being human. I mean, these non-human motherfuckers, narcissistic motherfuckers out there teaching y'all how to be so like blow up doll perfect, AI perfect, flawless, or what do you call it? Mistakeless. I mean, like what the fuck? You fucking human being. And an imperfect one at the part of developing into this wonderful spiritual being is to trial and error. Error means you might have fallen short of something, but you gotta do it. You gotta welcome it. And the whole point about making sure that you experience it. They're trying to take and rob you from your experience. Like putting all this shit on Facebook and IG and TikTok and all these crazy things. Trying to make you see all this artificial, non-real shit that you can't ever live up to because it's fake. They want everybody to be fake like them. Don't let them do that to you. Somebody want to sit up and say something, gossip about something you did. If you did it, own it. Yeah, girl, let me tell you, I did that shit and it wasn't good. Or, hey, I had fun doing it and I got to pay for it though. Or whatever the fuck. You fucked 50 minutes. Girl, I did a whole gangbang, whatever it is. It felt good. I'm glad I did it. It was an experience. Won't do it again. I got out of it unscathed. Whatever the fuck you want to do. Do it. Because it's part of you being a fucking human being. Don't let them narcissists take your reality away. Because that's what they want. They are so alone and they're so afraid of what's going to happen because it is going to happen because I was going to come down here and put his foot up their ass. But messing with his children. He let you live, but goddammit, you will not fuck with his people. Not happening. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look, I spent too many years trying to separate myself from narcissistic ideology and being controlled by narcissists. You know, like I pay you money or I do this for you. I own you, and you better worship me. One of the things that was said about me is like, oh, I'm a gold digger. The fuck? A gold digger. I was a gold digger. I mean, just, I had offers to be living in Scottsdale. I didn't have to be homeless. I wasn't going to be a slave to no nigga. No man. Fuck no. I'd rather be homeless. I could have been living in a condo. Do what I want. Having everything done for me. Playing the role of a happy fuck girl. No. I'd rather be homeless. I'd rather be homeless. So, pay attention to how you feel. And being here energetically, you all are a very big part. And build a bitch. And how it's done. We're gonna show them. We're gonna take y'all idea and redo it the human way. I don't know, whatever it is. But either way, be happy. Find things to be happy about. When being happy becomes your most important goal, and that in spite of everything, and trust and believe me, I've been in some really bad things. Look, I can't be happy about this. There was still my state of mind, my state of being was happy. My state. That's why nothing could keep me long enough in a mood for it to become my state, because my makeup was happy, my state of being. And I do know the times when I was close to slipping into a state of bitch. Big time bitch. I was close. And I think that's when heaven stepped in and snatched my ass up out of that. It was like, oh, no, 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 no. But if you think about that, if your state can actually change your mood, your mood can actually change your state of being. Because your state of being is not what you're born as, and it can be changed. If that's the case, look how much power we have as human beings to change, to recreate ourselves. Because when I said, when I was contemplating on the fact that, instead of doing birthday parties, we should be fucking doing new beginning parties. Hey, guess what? I am about to start a brand new fucking me. All those things that I did not want to be, I'm going to list, let everybody know what I'm not happy about myself, and how I plan to change it. And then let the community, my community, support me. And if they see me behaving any way like that, they can check my ass. And that way, they can gossip. I'll be welcome to gossip. Gossip would be real good then, because you want it. You want somebody to say, hey, yeah, that looks like the person I don't want to be. And this person that I'm coming to be is something that you should have that out there and help have the support of everybody helping you. I'm like, yeah. So whoever you invite to your little, new beginning party, hey, this is the old me, and this is who I want the new me to look like. I want her to have these qualities. I want her to look like this at 20 pounds lighter, whatever you want to design your little build a bitch to be. You can do it. And then get the support of real friends. And once they all participate in one, guess what? Somebody in there, and they see how successful, and then you can throw that party and say, hey, this is the great reveal. Yeah, another part. All the kind of reasons. Aren't we always trying to figure out a reason to celebrate something? Yeah, they'll start new beginning cards. A whole nother marketplace will be started because of that. Now that I said that, there is something I do want to say. I'm talking about marketplace. Throughout this whole process, I've always been a creative person. And I have all kinds of projects. Even while I was being homeless, I thought of 5 businesses and planned to build the concept of those businesses with, under my company, Idea Factory. I started the Idea Factory because I have so many ideas that would just be so awesome, So, and I know that there's a lot of people. I met people out there on the street who have some brilliant ideas too. So, hey, we can get them built. We can get them built. But with just like me talking to you guys, it's so much more fulfilling that what freely came to me freely goes to you. So all this talk about, somebody took your idea and they made tons of money off of it, and they took this and they took that, and then they're plagiarizing you, and they're just taking stuff off your page and putting on their page and pretending like they're you because they're a doppelganger, that type of shit. And I was like, and even now, it's like, don't let nobody know what you're doing, and well, I don't know how y'all gonna be part of this boat project if y'all don't know what I'm doing. What I gotta hold? If I'm holding back, then I'm not being real and honest, So I was like, there's no way to have both, right? So it was like, even the feeling that came in me, if I really wanted to care about someone taking my ideas and making money off of them, well, at this point, I give it away. because it feels so much, but I'd rather give it away than them to have it to even steal and make money off of it. But more importantly, I got so many fucking of them. Thank you. Because I like to see all of my ideas actually to materialize in my lifetime and see how well they actually work. So if you've been making money off of it and you didn't even probably have all of the concept of it and it still worked, damn it if I did it in person, even more brilliant. But like I don't want to be stuck to one idea. I don't want to be stuck to one concept. So if I want to write a book, I write a book. If I want to build a energy watch, I want to build an energy watch. I mean, something that could just be like, I don't want to be stuck there. I just want to keep growing and changing and growing and changing and growing. So I don't want to monitor businesses like I have my idea for holistic hair and skin cleanser. I definitely want to get that going. I don't want to work in it. I don't want to do hair no more. But I do want to make sure that all the essence and all the integrity and all the mission of the company is well established enough so that I can franchise it out and send it out to other people. To open up for themselves. But if we already built business with all the concepts and everything, and then keep a team on there to keep managing, making sure that it's always at the state of the art of holistic hair and skin. So that one I do. But outside of everything else, I don't want to run no company. I just want to create them, develop them, and I'm up. I don't want. So if someone took some of those ideas and they were wasting my fucking time going through this bullshit, that's the biggest thing I had. Wasting my fucking time. But as they were wasting my time, meaning there's just less time for me to get a chance to do all the things I need to do because they're still coming to flow. They're flowing. And they're gonna keep flowing. So I don't care. I'm not gonna sit up and harbor that type of I gotta protect this and protect that, and I gotta be distrusting of you and distrusting of that, and have all kind of patents and whatever. I publish what I publish. Facebook, you're a publishing company, because if I write something that's published, if I tell you I do a poor man's patent on your page, it's published, motherfucker, it's published, and that's all there is to it. Tell me and prove to me that I'm different. I'm wrong about that. I even had my divorce November 6th of 2021. No, 2020. I published my divorce. So all the other bullshit that was going on, I don't give a fuck what they were saying because I had a published in a media newspaper. Back then when they made the law, there was no social media. But this is. So if I had to make the first public divorce on make it a what it considered a published documented place, then I did. I would have been able to argue that bitch down in court every day, all day long. So it didn't matter. I'm not gonna sit up here and harbor all the whatever and be worried about other people. If you're so fucking worried about other people, how are you worried about doing what you need to do for yourself? I mean, the beauty industry was like, somebody's copying my hairstyle. I didn't care. I did it. One, I was always 2 years ahead of everybody anyway, but it didn't matter. I can't do every fucking person in the city. Sure. Here, come on. What you give freely, you get back freely. And that's how it works. It just comes. And that's something you have to sit back and think about is where your heart connection is. And I don't know how a person that has evil hearts or cold, always feeling, combative and strifeful and spiteful and want to hurt other people and think that that's the only way they can feel good about themselves. I don't know how those type of people actually get a heart or start to feel and care or change. I mean, I don't know, and I wouldn't know how to tell somebody to make that transition. But if you have a heart, a caring heart, and you really care about people, it won't be hard for you just to eliminate the negative talk, the negative programming, the negative association, and negative intentions. Just say I don't want it. and just see how you feel afterwards. See how you feel. You just control what actually enters into your mind. Say, I'm on a negative diet. You know, no negative news. No negative news. I'm on a diet. Ah, ah, ah. Nope, don't come here yet. You know, if it's not celebrating somebody, telling me good news, don't come to me at all. Don't want no bad news. Do it for a week and see how it works. I don't know how to tell people how to do it. That part because I've always been that person. I don't like talking about people who used to tell me when I ran my salon. You don't let nobody talk bad about the other person because I go get that person. Like, wait, in front of them. But, or if I had the opportunity to defend somebody because how they represented them was wrong, I'm going to defend them. I'm going to snatch you out and give you another perspective and say, hey, look at it. So I'm not that girl that if you my friend, you can talk bad about my friend. No, I'm not that person. So more if we all start paying attention to what we allow into our minds, how it actually affects our emotions. I guarantee you when you start looking at shit on social media and YouTube and movies and TV, you're gonna say, oh, I like the way that made me feel. That doesn't make me feel good. I'm in a bad mood or I'm snippy at people after having been around those people or attended that party. Fuck that guy. Because that can happen too. I'm like, hey, why am I mad? I should be feeling good. That's because he's spewing and he's siphoning out your good energy, your good healing energy, and dumping some bad shit into you. It happens. You think like that, you won't be going around fucking everybody either. I'll tell you that for sure. That's why being celibate was very, very good to me. You know, easy. I'm like, you don't look like you got something that I would want to contract. Your energy definitely don't look like something I want to share. Okay, that's all it was. I know. I'm just my little secret. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here. I just wanted to make sure you guys kind of got an understanding of how this came about, why I'm doing all of this, and as you start to probably see some maybe like raw moments of mine. Why you get to see them because I'm not ashamed, and if where I was before my homeless state and where my life was, if I would have tried to come out talking this shit, not that I was planning on it, it wasn't part of my agenda, but if I had, it wouldn't have been received the way it would be now. Because now I can tell you from the streets what this shit feels like, how what I was thinking, how I was able to get up out of it, and how I can relate that to even just everyday life stuff that doesn't happen. You don't have to be like on the streets to actually have a resonance to that same experience. I can do that for you. And then, as we see happen, participate. Because I'm here because of heaven. If you see it before and then see now, we give that credit to heaven because heaven was instrumental in that. There was nothing, trust me, it's just me thinking positive and having faith in them and actually putting into action what they told me to do. Trust me, I'm here because co-collaborating with heaven. And nothing else. No favors been shown to me. And heaven has not, and my daddy Abu, no. He has not been easy on me. He's been rough. But that's how you teach a person. It's tough love. That's real tough love. What my father showed me. And allowed me to go through. Because he knew more about who I am. Whatever that shit. Yeah. No. I won't. But, yeah. So, I've been trying to get everybody to get that relationship with their angels. I know that was a start on how able to come up with the Bella Project, because when you start actually having that comfortableness with your angels and how they actually participate and they're really trying hard. They're trying hard to get your attention, to guide you, to nudge you, to do what's good. I mean, truly, honestly, I don't even, I mean, because I had God, I had God, and He introduced me to my angels. I'm like, now tell me again, why if I have the number one, do I want to do with your subordinates? I'm like, I got you. You've been working with me all this time. Come on, Dad. This is what the fuck. You just like pushing me off. What am I bothering you? Come on now. Why are you doing this? So it's just like crazy. And then like when I tried it, I was like, y'all don't fuck with me. My daddy know how to do it better. I'm like, go. So I want you back. I want you back. And came back. But then I started, like, I was used to talk to him, and so even though I was being mean to him, they always still able to have somebody talk to me. I wasn't just talking to myself, So I missed them. I'm like, it only took a half a day, and they were back, and I didn't let them go yet, no more. That was it. Didn't let them go. So that could probably be the help to give everyone started, in the book project, in their own project, whatever your name is, not the Better Project. You are assisting in the Better Project, but you can start your own project. And we can record live too. We could start a whole series of projects and see how well they work, and see how, we do this. Oh, look what she did over there. Oh, maybe we could try that here. And it'd be sharing information that everybody would like be glad to share. Not like, I can't believe you're trying to copy me. Or use my words, or use my line. How I said that. Or somebody trying to say it first, so that when they say it, or when they hear you say it, it sounds like you copying them. I mean, really, you guys put this much attention to all this shit. Oh my god, that type of my brain hurts. I mean, I got ADHD, and I really don't mind it. I haven't had to take no medicine for it lately because I'm actually able to apply shit now. Where before, when I was homeless and stuff, I was like, oh my god, my brain is about to explode. In my corporate life, I had 5 or 6 projects going at once because I was able to actually build on my ideas physically, financially, and in a natural, marketplace. I was able to function. And it's kind of getting back like that now. So I'm good. No medicine. So I seem a little crazy. That's why. But either way, I'm gonna get off right for real this time. And go back and do some research on a very serious topic I'm going to have to eventually talk to you on. All right, guys. Thank you again. I really am. I'm so grateful for all of you. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to say see you tomorrow because I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow. But I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.